I want to introduce Jeremiah Akinbohun. He's a technical specialist at Dev Technology Group, and he's soon to complete the 2021 ACT-IAC Associates Leadership Development Program, which is where we met. So Jeremiah, thank you for joining me today.
Hey, thanks for having me, Jeremy.
So for those who haven't had a chance to interact with you like I have over the last, 8-9 months, talk a bit about where you're from, who you are, and what you do.
Okay, so first of all, let me say thanks for having me. I was born in Nigeria, and I grew up in Springfield, Virginia, and Memphis, Tennessee. As far as kind of who I am, I started Dev Technology last year after I graduated with my bachelor's in computer science. Since then, I've helped organize Dev Technology's first virtual hackathon. I serve as the technical lead for Dev Connect. It's Dev's mentorship program or mentorship app to facilitate those relationships. In addition, I'm also part of the 2021 ACT-IAC Associates cohort. I guess for me, one of the things that I believe in is really supporting those who are interested or new to the software development field. So on that vein, I served as a mentor to underserved youth as part of the Future Kings program, awesome initiative. And I've also served as a mentor to some of my colleagues as well.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. So let's roll back a little bit. So your parents immigrated from Nigeria then?
My mom's actually from Memphis and my dad's from Nigeria.
Okay.
And my dad took an interesting journey from Nigeria to Memphis.
Wow. And then what brought them to the DC area?
So my dad worked for WMATA or Metro for a few decades.
Okay. And so then when you were finishing up school and you were going into your career, what made you choose, the path you did? What made you go to college versus something else, and why that particular degree?
My journey took a little bit longer than some others, but I always knew that I was going to get my college degree. What it was going to be in, I didn't exactly know, but I always knew that I wanted something that would challenge me. So computer science was what I saw to be the most challenging pathway that I could take. Plus, I kind of owed it to my parents after breaking the family computer more than enough times to be able to say, okay, hey, I know what's going on with computers now. At least in the coding realm. I still can't fix them if I break them, but at least I've got some knowledge there.
That's interesting. And then that brought you, like you said, you started with Dev Technologies. Was there a connection there, or did you just blindly apply?
I just blindly applied. I want to say I blindly applied, but that wouldn't be true. One of the things was when I was applying, you see your usual, kind of, hey, this is the job description. But with Dev, one of the things that caught my eye was that they said, this is a position where we're going to give you the opportunity to learn. And I was like, wait, what? What do you mean? What do you mean learn? I swore up and down it wasn't a real job. I was like, there's no way, but I'll apply for it anyway. And so, coming into Dev, John Janik, our chief technologist, he interviewed me, and we had a great discussion about some of the technologies, that I would be utilizing, that I would be learning, in order to help with government contracts, help the government conduct its business. Things like Chef and Puppet and Ansible, and those are the things that really interested me. So when Dev reached out and said, hey, we want to bring you on, I was like, I'm already here. When can I start? So I was really glad to just find an opportunity where I could come in and learn, and have that opportunity to work with technologies that, as a new developer, I thought I wouldn't, be getting my hands on anytime soon.
That's pretty awesome. So as you were doing that process of starting your career and figuring out where you're going to work, is there anything about that process you would change for others who are coming behind you? You know, I mean, it sounds like you found this role, but like you said, you weren't even sure it was a real role, right? You just applied anyway. Talk a bit about something, you know, in that space. I mean, what could we do to make it easier for people who are trying to get their career started?
Well, that's one of the things. As I said, I say it jokingly, that I was like, is this actually, a real role? But dev, I'll give out the shameless plug. I love working for dev technology because of opportunities like that. And I didn't see a lot of that when I was applying for jobs. It was, what do you know? What can you bring to the table right now as somebody coming out of college?
Mm,
And even though I had areas of interest and budding expertise, whether that was data science or automation, that can be hard to articulate when you're new, jumping into the industry. So I really think it's giving, when it comes to college, the books are the books. It is what it
right.
is.
Yeah.
But I think across the board, whether it's in college or even whether you're new or you've got decades of experience, having the opportunity to really spend time on your passion um, while you're at work, of what is it that you want to learn and to implement, that can help your company and that can help the government. People should be given that time.
Mm.
People should be given that opportunity to exercise those passions, and not just have it be work. I love what I do. It's work, but I really love it. It's honestly a dream to be able to come in and to utilize these different technologies and have an opportunity, say like with Dev Connect, to exercise that passion.
And then how does that reflect it? I mean, as you mentioned, you like to give back. I'm very curious about that, because that, as you know, that's a passion of mine. That's why I volunteer with ACT-IAC. How did you get into doing that? And if somebody else wanted to consider like ways to give back, is there an organization you would suggest?
Sure. Let me answer that last question first.
All right.
There was an organization that I could suggest, definitely Future Kings, and I'll go into why. So when I was at Northern Virginia Community College, getting my associate's degree, I took part as a lab assistant, helping others through some various IT classes. And that's how I got the opportunity to take part in Future Kings. Um, these are young men and women who are interested in business, entrepreneurship, technology, but who may not always get the opportunity to get that exposure, to those fields. Um, Coming in and seeing the passion that these young men and women have, for entrepreneurship, for technology, it was amazing. And one of the things was, um, I thought to myself like, I haven't really served as a mentor before. I don't think I can do it. But going through it, anybody can be a mentor.
Mhm.
As long as you have a passion and a care for sharing your knowledge. Um, it's it's an opportunity to help someone in ways that you can't even imagine. Um, I linked up with my cousin for my recent wedding. I haven't seen him in years, like over a decade, and he actually graduated with his degree in computer science. And he told me, you know, those times that we hung out at your house, we lived 2 streets over from one another. Those times we hung out at your house, not just playing video games, but doing things on the computer. That's what inspired me to go into computer science. And just to hear that from him and to think about you know being able to interact with these high school and middle school kids who don't always have that opportunity to take part in the classes, take part in the clubs, get that exposure, just to be able to have those conversations with them and to listen to their passion. It's all worth it.
That's fantastic. So wow, yeah. So definitely, I would give. I like you. I'm passionate about that. So I give a plug to Future Kings. Everybody should reach out to them. So what's next for Jeremiah? What's the future look like? I know you're still fairly early in this career stuff with Dev Connection. So I'm not saying that you're going to leave them by any means. But what's your focus area? What are you looking to do here going into the future?
Sure. Well, that's one of the things. Dev technology has always supported me, throughout my career. And I'm not, contractually obligated to say that. That's one of the things I love about the company is they stand by their word, and they do encourage you. If you want to take on something, they'll give you the support on it. And so in that vein, with these opportunities that, including ACT-IAC, that I didn't expect to have coming into the industry right out the gate. For me, I've always been interested in learning the technology and in growing in my leadership, skills, and being able to say, okay, as I move forward with Dev and grow into these leadership positions, as they become available, and if I'm lucky enough to do so, being able to say, hey, I've been a software developer before. I know what you're dealing with. I've been there. I get it. Being able to bridge that gap between developer and a project manager or whatever it may be, and have that understanding. That's where I want to go in the future. I'm spending time right now working on my certifications. I'm really interested in cloud. That's the hotness right now. But one of the things I've always had in the back of my mind is the way that data is the new oil. It's so important. We hear about it in regards to cybersecurity every single day. So it's really just being able to utilize my different skills and apply those, in software development, but also as we look forward to more secure programming in just everyday work.
That's awesome. Well, Jeremiah, it's always great to interact with you, and I look forward to seeing you here soon as you graduate from your program. And I look forward to seeing what you do in the future. You've got a bright future ahead of you, and I can't wait to see what that is for you. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Jeremy. I appreciate it, and thanks for having me.